Hey everybody, this is Chris from rawprofits.com. Today we're going to have a little bit more fun than some of the boring talks about web hosting that we had in the last video. If you haven't checked out the first two videos, this is the third video in a series of how to build profitable niche websites for beginners. And we're just going through all of the basics to get up and running. And if you follow what I'm doing from start to finish and just multiply it and do it over and over and over, you're going to make some money. Today we're going to focus on the website itself and getting it set up in WordPress. So we're going to get the look of it looking a little bit nicer. We're going to set up some categories for our articles. We're going to set up the menu, and we're going to clean it up a little bit as well. So in the last video where we left off, we didn't really do a whole lot with WordPress. We got a theme installed and I did a test post. So today let's log in. Put in your username and password that you set up in the last video. The first thing that I like doing is going to the settings. So right now I'm in the general settings. I updated my site title and the tagline. The tagline is going to appear in the title here and underneath as a subtitle underneath your main title. I'm going to leave the URLs alone here unless you have a reason to do it otherwise, change it otherwise. Put in your admin email. This is where all your notifications will come. So if you get a new comment or something's reported, this is where it'll notify you. I'm leaving anyone can register. I'm leaving this unchecked. When somebody does sign up, this is the role that they will be. I'm just leaving that as a subscriber. I'm speaking English. My time zone, I am a -4. I like this date format. Go through the rest of these options if you like, and I'm going to save changes. And my settings were saved. Next, let's head to the writing. The default post category will be uncategorized. We haven't set up categories yet, so we're just going to leave that. The default post format, you have different formats of posts that you can create. So you can create a gallery, if it's just an image, a quote, a video, audio. For right now, I just always leave it to standard. The post via email, you can look into that further if you like. That just means that you can send an email to with a post, and it'll automatically post it to WordPress. I've never used this, to be honest. Let's head to the reading settings. How many blogs to show per page? So on the front page here, we only have 2 posts. If there were 10, it would show all 10. If there were 11, it would create a second page, because right now we have it set to 10 per page. Syndication feeds show the most recent 10 items. So this is for RSS feeds. If you type in your domain/feed, this is what an RSS feed looks like, and people subscribe to these using an RSS reader. You can change how many items, latest items you show. In the feed, you can also show the full text, so your full article, or just the summary of it. The summary usually forces them to click on your article to read the full thing, so I think summary is a better idea. You can discourage search engines from indexing your site. I have no idea why you would want to do that. You might have a reason. I'm going to head to the discussion. So the discussion settings are related to the comments that appear on your website. So this is a test post, and if you go down here to the bottom, you'll see the comments. And I'm just going to post a test comment. And as you can see, now I have a comment here. The discussion settings are related to those comments. Later on in this video, we're actually going to install a plugin for Disqus, which I find to be a more ideal solution than the default comments for WordPress. So we'll take a look at that in a bit. So for right now, I'm going to switch over to the media settings and leave this alone. I don't see anything to change here for now, so we're going to go over to the permalinks. The permalink settings are how your URLs will appear. So if we head over to a test post, you'll see right now our posts have the year, month, and day inside them. Personally, I like to have them more clean and just have the post name themselves. Or if you like, you could have the category name. So it would be /articles/ post name or /tense/ post name. So if we click post name here and hit save, and then we refresh our post, you'll see that this page is no longer found. We're going to head back to the main page. We're going to click on that same post, and you can see that it's cleaner now. The URL has changed, and it took that date out. So it changed based on what we set here. So for right now, that's all we need to look at for settings. Let's head over to the appearance and customize. So if the theme that you installed is set up properly, then they will have quite a few options here in the sidebar that you can modify the look of your website. Just a reminder, the theme that I installed was called Noteblog. It's quite simple looking and it'll get the job done. Also, if you notice, our title was updated, as well as our subtitle tagline based on when we updated the settings. So this background image is the default photo that came with the theme. It looks a little dull to me, so we're gonna go find a new one. If we go to unsplash.com, this is a great website where you can get free photos which have been donated by photographers. Since I'm using white text right now, I like that. So I'm gonna find a darker image so that the white text stands out. Also, since I'm doing hiking and camping related stuff, I want something that's outdoorsy looking. So I just scroll down a little bit, and right off the bat I see a nice looking photo here by Bobby Birch. So you can check out his work. I'm gonna try this photo and see what it looks like. So I'm gonna download it. On the sidebar, I'm gonna select front page header. For the current header, I'm gonna add a new image. I'm gonna select files. I selected the image that I just downloaded, and now it's uploading. I'm gonna update the title for this photo. The reason I'm updating the title is just in case Google crawls the website. This has a few more keywords related to the website rather than Bobby Birch 145906. I'm going to select and crop. So luckily this theme has a default size that it likes. Some themes don't let you crop it. This one, thankfully, it does it for you. So I'm just going to grab the crop box here and glide it down. I like the tent and I like the green here. So I'm going to see what this looks like. So we're going to crop the image. So unfortunately, the background got cut off on the bottom here. That might change based on the size of our screen, but for right now, I think that looks pretty good, so I'm going to keep this. So now I'm going to hit back over here. I'm going to select site identity. I can upload a logo if I like. I like just using the text. Like I said, we're keeping these websites nice and simple, and as well, this is easier for Google to read and pick up. I'm going to select background color. Now if you like, you could change the background color. I think the gray with the white boxes looks good. It pops. I'm going to hit back. Same as the background image. I don't see a need for a background image. The menus we're going to set up later on in the video. The widgets, these are footer widgets. So in the footer we could put different content. And this one has a left widget, a middle widget, and a right widget. For right now I'm going to leave those blank, but when we're collecting emails, I might put those in there. I might throw some links in there as well to either other sites that I have or resources. The next one here is additional CSS. This is a great feature. If you know anything about CSS, you could customize the website really easily. So I'm using Chrome, and if you right click, you don't have to do this, but I'm just giving you an example. If you right click, you can hit inspect. Let's just bring this down a little bit. Well, that's as far as I can go. And you can select this little arrow here, and this selects any of the elements on the page. If you scroll down, you can select these, and it shows you what kind of element it is and what the class attached to it is. So again, if you don't know CSS, just ignore all this for right now. You do not need to know this. I'm just showing you that you can edit the page however you like without using the theme options. So let's select the tagline here, and if we see, it highlights the code down here, and it says front page site description. And then you'll see inside that tag is #1 resource for hiking tents. So we know that's this part. So I'm going to double click, and I'm going to copy this class. I'm going to paste that class inside here. I'm going to open my curly brackets, and I'm just going to change the color to yellow. And as you can see, that was updated to yellow. I'm going to close my site inspector. And you know what? I actually kind of like that, so I'm going to keep that. So I'm just going to hit save, and what that does is it saves all of the options that we changed in all of these sections. There's one last one here, post options, and I'm just going to leave that how it is for now. Also, keep in mind that a lot of these themes that you use for free on WordPress, a lot of them have an upgrade option. So this one has Noteblog Pro. I'm not affiliated with these guys whatsoever, but if you pay $32, you can unlock all of these options. For me, again, these websites just need to be simple, and I'm going to leave it how it is. Also at the very bottom here, you'll see these 3 devices, and this is how your website will appear on a desktop, iPad or a tablet, and on a iPhone device or a phone device, smartphone. So right now we're on desktop mode. Let's click the tablet. As you can see, the menu hamburger bar appeared. But for right now, we haven't set up the menu yet, so there's nothing to show. So let's check out the smartphone version. And again, as you can see, everything's responsive and it looks nice. Let's go back to the desktop. Everything has been saved, and we're going to exit out of here. Next, we're going to improve the comment system. Instead, I like to install a service. It's a plugin called Disqus. So come over to plugins and then add new. Type in Disqus. So the options that come up, you'll see the Disqus comment system. This one has 200,000 plus active installs. It's untested with your version of WordPress. I'm not too happy about that, and the score's a little low. So I've actually been using the Disqus conditional load, and this is by Joel James. So it's an unofficial plugin for Disqus. So if we click on it and take a look, it has over 10,000 installs. The rating's great. It's also compatible with the version of WordPress that we currently have installed. He coded it in pure JavaScript. There's no jQuery, so there's no libraries that are bogging it down and making it a little slower. One important thing is that it is SEO friendly. This is great, so that we know Google is going to be picking up any comments that are posted and listing them in Google for us. So I'm going to go ahead and install this now. So that has been installed, and I'm going to activate. And now we need to configure it. So click the configure link. It says we need to upgrade our database to continue, so we're going to trust this and go ahead. So in order for us to use the Disqus, we need to have an account with them. So let's set up an account. So to sign up, you can sign up with Facebook, Twitter, or Google, or you could just put in your information here. Okay, so I create an account. I'm going to come back to this page and put in my username and password that I just signed up with. So after I put in my username and password, I got a little error message that says there aren't any sites associated with this account. Maybe you want to create a site. So if you go back to this window, it'll say I want to install Disqus on my site. We're going to click this, and now it's asking for the website name. So select your category and then create sites. And they do have a plus account here. I'm just going to continue with basic. It's asking what platform our site is on. So we're on WordPress. And then it gives us instructions on how to install this. We're not doing it this way. We've already installed a plugin. So let's go back to where we were. And let's try putting in our username and password again to see if it works this time. So now this time I can see it's asking me to select a website. So we're going to pick this, whatever your niche website is. If you have another website, you can register it. You don't need to have an account for every single website. I'm going to click next. And I got the message, Disqus has been installed on your blog. So now I came back to my test post and I refreshed the page, and as you can see right here, it loaded the new Disqus comments and it removed automatically the WordPress comments. If you come over to comments and then click on Disqus, there's a link to go to Disqus moderation. After we click on that link, you'll see in here everything that you may want to do to moderate your comments. So you'll see new comments in here, pending comments, spam. You can filter by words, you can ban users, you can add moderators. It's a much more expansive system than the built-in WordPress comments, and I really enjoy using it. What I like about Disqus as well is that you can log in not just with Facebook, but you can create a Disqus account easily, use Facebook, Twitter, or Google. Next, let's head over to posts and then categories. So in here, by default, WordPress adds the uncategorized category. If you click on this, you can edit it. So I'm going to update this. So I changed the name just to articles for now. Update. I'm going to go back to categories. And now I'm going to add two new categories. I'm going to add hiking guides. The slug is what appears in the URL. So if you look up here, it's WP-admin. So the slug would be hiking, all lowercase, dash guides. And that's what would appear up here. If you leave it blank, it'll automatically take the name that you fill in here and put it in here for you. You don't have to fill that out. You can add a description if you like. I'm just going to add this category. I'm just going to add another one for tent reviews and hit add new category. So those are just the three basic ones that I'm going to do for now. If you have a site with a lot of different options or topics or field, you could fit them in here. Mine are pretty generic. For example, if you want, you could do brand of tents. You could do the brand. If you're doing cars, you could do all of the different models of cars. If you're doing a baseball website, you could do all of the different baseball teams. You don't have to just have three. Like I said, I'm keeping this really simple and just going to fill these three up. If you come back to the front page, you'll notice that we don't have a menu. So that's what I'm going to do next, is set up a menu for our website to navigate. Let's go to Appearance, Menus. So right now we have no menus created, so I'm just going to create a new menu. And I'm just going to call this primary menu, or you can call it main menu, whatever you prefer. I'm going to click create menu. Now each theme that is created, they might have different locations on the page for different menus. So for example, up here they have a primary menu. They might have a side menu, and they might have a footer menu. Some themes have a lot, and you can create a custom menu for each section. So for this theme, there's actually only one. It's the top primary menu. So we created the primary menu, and now I need to assign it to that location. So I'm going to click this top menu display location, and then I'm going to save it. And now the menu that I'm creating right now is assigned to that location. So whatever I put inside this menu will display in that area. So on the side here, I'm going to click categories, and I'm going to hit view all. And I'm going to select all the categories that I added, and we're going to add to menu. If you see, they appear here underneath our menu structure. And if I save the menu and come to our home page, click refresh, you'll see that those 3 links appeared here: articles, hiking guides, and tent reviews. And all 3 of these are my categories. If you come back to the menu, you can change the order of these really easily. So I kind of want the tent reviews to be in the middle. So I'm just going to click this and drag it up. And if I save the menu, refresh, and it's switched. What's also great is that you can create submenus really easily. So if you grab tent reviews, for example, and we slide this over, you can see how that gray box nudges. And if you release it, it's now a subcategory of articles. So if we save this, come over to your home page, refresh. Now you'll see that tent reviews, there's an arrow here, and if you hover over in this theme, it shows this. Now, I just want to caution you that some themes might not have that feature built in. I'm hoping that nowadays in 2017 that most themes that are created have this. This isn't what I want, so I'm going to move it back and hit save. So the last thing I want to do is just clean up WordPress a little bit. We have some test posts in here, so let's go to posts, all posts. And I want to delete these. So move to trash, apply. I'm going to go to the trash. I'm going to select these. I'm just going to empty the trash. So now we have no posts on our website. So this gives us a clean slate to get started. Next, I'm going to go to appearance and themes. So a lot of web hosts like HostGator, Bluehost maybe, and SiteGround, the ones that I mentioned, a file will use up a node or a spot on the server, and they usually only give you so much resources to use. So deleting the extra themes that you don't use gives you space on your server to launch other sites. So these are taking up unnecessary space that you don't need. So if you click on one and then down in the corner hit delete and OK, do that for all 3 or however many there are that you're not using. And again, you can install these back at any time just by going to the add new theme store. Click delete. The only thing that I have left is my note blog. Make sure you don't delete your main one. So there you have it. We did quite a bit. We changed the settings in WordPress. We gave it a customized appearance. We went to unsplash.com and we used this great photo. We set up Disqus for a new comment system. We set up our menus and our categories. We have the 3 sections for the articles, tent reviews, and hiking guides. And we cleaned WordPress up a little bit by deleting the test posts and the themes that we're not using. Again, this is Chris from rawprofits.com. Subscribe now, please, and check out the next video. Thanks for watching.